Hello everyone, welcome to MBA Karo. This is a very important video regarding NMAT, and there are a lot of people on YouTube who mislead students into believing that NMAT gets difficult over time. And like if you write in the examination in later part of November or December, your scores get scaled down. I already knew that this theory is wrong. I mean, they do not have anything to prove it. But still, in order to verify this, I appeared for NMAT again yesterday. The official scorecard is yet to be released, but I got to know my score as soon as I completed the examination. And I was able to prove that this theory is wrong. So please do not believe in any random person on YouTube who says that NMAT gets difficult over time. Okay, scores get scaled down. If you are scoring so and so in the first attempt, you will not be able to score so much in the second attempt, etc., etc. So in order to just to see that, I spent uh, on filling the retake fees and then taking the examination yesterday. So I'm going to analyze the paper, what I noticed, how was it as compared to the first slot which I appeared, what kind of questions were tested in this examination. If you are new to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, because whatever you get here is the most authentic information, because I myself appear on all these examinations and then give you the genuine feedback, unlike others who just uh, uh, give any random stuff without even knowing the things in detail. First of all, a lot of students keep asking what is NMAT window 2, NMAT window 3. जो लोग ये बात बताते हैं कि NMAT के स्कोर कम हो जाते हैं विंडो 2 में, विंडो 3, देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड NMAT विंडो. आपने कभी एनमैट के साइट में देखा है? डू दे मेंशन दैट देयर इज दिस इज विंडो 1, दिस इज विंडो 2, विंडो 3? ठीक है, सो स्टॉप बिलीविंग इन ऑल सच थिंग्स दैट देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एनमैट विंडो. ठीक है, देयर आर, आई नो देयर आर सम यूट्यूबर्स हु मिसलीड स्टूडेंट्स. दे से कि विंडो 1 में देना चाहिए, विंडो 2 में देना चाहिए, विंडो 3 में देना चाहिए. देयर इज नथिंग लाइक दैट. Okay, it is a complete uh, period of around 2 months. It started from October 10 and will go until December 19, I guess. So during that period you can write NMAT on any day. ठीक है, जब आपको slot मिल रहा है आपकी available city में, so that you do not have to travel to some other place, you could appear on the examination. There is nothing called NMAT window. So please make note of it. कहीं आपको officially नहीं लिखा रहता है कि NMAT window 2 है, window 3 है. ठीक है, so don't believe any such person who tells you कि NMAT विंडो 2, विंडो 3 इसमें ये होता है, इसका एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं. सो देयर इज नथिंग लाइक दैट. ओके, इट इज वन कंप्लीट विंडो. ओके, देन another myth which I busted yesterday was that the scores get scaled down when you write later. Okay, so I'm the same person. I write with my full capacity. I do not think कि यार मुझे इस बार कम दे देता हूँ, पहले अटेम्प्ट में कम दे देता हूँ, उसमें मैं ज़्यादा ले आऊँगा. That is not the case, right? So whichever exam I write, I try to maximize my score. So I appeared on 10th of October. You must have noticed first day सबसे पहले मैं analysis लेके आया था. ठीक है, the reason why I wrote on the very first day, and yesterday I wrote the second attempt. Due to some technical glitch, the scorecard is not yet released. Once it is released, I will let you know in the community. So मैं community में अपना scorecard भी डाल दूंगा, so that you know कि this is authentic, right? No fake. You already know that I do not provide any fake information. Okay, so these are my scores of the three sections on the first attempt and the retake which I took yesterday, right? So quant और LS में मेरे score बढ़ गए. ठीक है, और LR में थोड़ा कम चला गया. मे बी देयर वाज वन पजल विच आई बिलीव आई गॉट स्टक. ठीक है, दैट वाज अ लेंथी वन, and maybe few critical reasoning. Because of that, the score might have gone down, but overall my score was more or less the same. 2 मार्क का डिफरेंस है. ऐसा भी नहीं कि बहुत ज्यादा, जैसे आपको ऐसा बोल दिया जाता है बाद में स्कोर स्केल डाउन हो जाते हैं. स्केल डाउन का मतलब कि काफी कम हो जाने चाहिए, राइट? बट दैट डिड नॉट हैपन, एंड द लेवल ऑफ पेपर विच आई बिलीव वाज इक्वली द सेम. ठीक है, कुछ लोग ये बोलते हैं कि एनमैट बाद में डिफिकल्ट भी हो जाता है, वही लोग बोलते हैं. ठीक है, एनमैट डिफिकल्ट नहीं होता. जो लेवल फर्स्ट टेक में था वही लेवल यहाँ था. सो हो सकता है इंग्लिश में कुछ एक क्वेश्चंस ज्यादा सही हो गए होंगे, ठीक है, रीजनिंग में कम होंगे, मोर और लेस द सेम. क्वांट आई बिलीव इन माय फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, आई बिलीव कि मेरे कम मार्क्स है, ज्यादा आने चाहिए थे, बट यू डू नॉट नो द scoring pattern of NMAT, right? So you cannot debate on all those things. Whatever score you get, you accept it. I've seen students doing very good, but like let's say in official mock also, if you see, if you get the same number of questions correct in two sections, your score will be different. So it is completely not known what is the scoring pattern of NMAT. So let us not go into that. Okay, you should always aim to maximize your performance, giving your best, right? Rest is they check your aptitude level on some criteria which is not known. Okay, so that is why even in the mocks you cannot guarantee. मॉक्स में तो क्या है, हम कुछ 3 मार्क्स के 4 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चन रख के अपने मन से बनाते हैं, but that is not the true criteria to judge things. Okay, so this was the score. So this proved that NMAT scores do not scale down. तो अगर कोई रीटेक दे भी रहा है तो ये ना सोचे कि आपका स्कोर कम हो जाएगा, या किसी ने NMAT बाद में भरा हुआ है, लेट्स से आप दिसंबर में देने वाले हो या नवंबर एंड में कभी देने वाले हो, so do not trust the sources which claim that the scores get scaled down. It does not. Okay, लेवल भी वही रहता है, स्कोर्स भी ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर आते हैं. सो आई टुक दिस टेस्ट just to prove this, so that these people can no longer claim. So please do spread this video to as many aspirants as you can, so that they also know the reality behind NMAT scores. Now NMAT pattern, so आपको पता ही है, right? So 36 questions, and in each section no negative marking, right? So please ensure that you attempt most of the questions. Last question तक जाने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए. They claim that if you do not attempt the questions, you face penalty. What is that penalty? Not known. Okay, so it is completely a black box. You do not know how many marks you lose or gain per question, etc. You do not lose. You have zero, no negative marking. But if you do not attempt the paper, they say that you will face penalty. Okay, so try to reach the maximum number of questions per section. Okay, and there is no option to skip a question. तो ये जिनने दिया उन्हें तो पता ही होगा, जिनने नहीं दिया, you have to move ahead on the paper. Now let us analyze the sections. Section wise analysis करते हैं कि किस टॉपिक से कितने क्वेश्चन आए थे and how was it different as compared to the previous slot. Okay, so I had two RCs. One was on pest control, which was around 500 words. I found that it is at par with CAT level. Okay, the kind of questions that were asked, inference based, okay, and accept wale questions, so difficult questions. There were 4 questions from it, and then one was modern Indian culture, that was around 300 words. Okay, and it was also, the passage was difficult to read, okay, but the questions were easy. So it again had 4 questions. In my slot one also, the main exam which I gave, that also had 2 RCs. Okay, some people might get 3 RCs in their examination. So ये एक थोड़ा variation होता है, 2 RCs or 3 RCs का variation. Then accordingly you get like 4 to 5 parajumble questions. It can vary. I had 5 ones, 3 with 5 sentence, and 2 had 4 sentences each. Okay, so this can vary. किसी के 4 हो सकते हैं, किसी के 6 हो सकते हैं. Error spotting, I had 8 questions. Error spotting was easy to moderate, not so difficult. Some like very obvious errors were there. Okay, so 8 questions. In case you get 3 RCs, तो ये कम हो जाते हैं. मतलब हो सकता है you get 5 questions from error spotting, 4 or 5 like that. Okay, then preposition based 3 questions. This also like sometimes varies. 3 questions, 5 questions, slight variation में रहता है. So these were the topics that were tested. So there single blank. Single blank में usually you will have some phrase that needs to be filled. कुछ phrase दिया रहेगा that you had to fill. Maybe it is a tense based. They test your knowledge of tense, like perfect tense आना चाहिए, simple tense आना चाहिए, that sort of thing. And there are double blank. So usually vocab based होते हैं, and you need to check कि कहाँ पे कौन सा सही बैठेगा. And 6 questions on analogy. Analogy is basically synonyms and antonyms. Okay, so it is complete vocab based thing. So similar pattern was encountered in the main examination also, and the level was almost equal. Okay, so it is just about like sometimes in analogy based questions, let us say you do not know certain words. Okay, maybe in the first attempt I might not have known some words, here I knew some of them, so score might vary a little, but remains almost equal, not much variation. ऐसा नहीं कि 20 marks का difference आ जाएगा. It will be within a single digit difference. Okay, so it depends. Like, see, VA is always variable because हो सकता है कि like कोई synonym antonym में आप knowledge नहीं थी, right? Or some error spotting, you made some mistake. So more or less, there might be some variation in your scores. So this was the pattern which I encountered yesterday. And you must be knowing that we released one grammar ebook which had 160 plus rules of with examples, and it is helpful for different MBA entrance examinations. And I also went through the book, although I did not construct the book. It was some other teacher who prepared the book. I went through the book and saw that there were some uh, cases like subject verb agreement. Okay, and there were some other rules which were directly tested because I went through the book and I realized, okay, ये तो direct इन्हीं से पूछे. Like for example, subject verb agreement question was there. Chain of mountains are. So if you're talking of one chain, that will be considered as a singular thing. So those kind of questions, you would be, if you go through this book, that will help you a lot in improving your grammar skills. Now talking about the logical reasoning section, this time I encountered some difference as compared to the previous one. There was one grid based arrangement. It was very difficult. Okay, I would say that it was a CAT level thing in which you had five persons. They were judged on five different they appeared on five tests: personality test, intelligence test, etc. They were evaluated by five different people, and then they were either selected, rejected, or sent for training. So it was a difficult one, and I believe ki this was the set where I spent a lot of time, and as a result I could not reach towards the end of the paper. तो कुछ कुछ last के दो तीन critical reasoning के I marked randomly, and even this set I could not completely attempt. पहला क्वेश्चन गलत हो गया because I was looking using the options. I tried to guess and then was able to figure it out. So this was a difficult one with four questions. There were two input output this time. Some students reported previously also कि दो input output आ रहे हैं, किसी के उसमें एक आ रहा है, किसी के उसमें दो आ रहे हैं. So there were 8 questions on input output. 4 plus 4 input output was easy. Both sets were easy. कि बहुत सिंपल से लॉजिक थे. सम ऑफ डिजिट्स, राइट, सब्ट्रैक्टिंग फ्रॉम वन ऑफ द स्टेप्स, एडिंग टू वन ऑफ द स्टेप्स, स्क्वायरिंग ऑफ द नंबर्स एटसेट्रा. जैसे एक अल्फाबेट लिखा है डी, सो उसके नीचे लिखा हुआ 18, सो 4 स्क्वायर प्लस 2. देन यू हैड एफ एन 38, सो 6 स्क्वायर प्लस 2. सो लॉजिक वर बेसिकली लाइक sum of digits, square plus some number, okay, addition of steps, etc. These were the common logics. Okay, so we did some examples also. So like that, both of these had similar logics. Okay, so this time I had one arrangement and two input output. In the first lot I had two puzzles. One was circular arrangement and another was some grid based thing. So two puzzles plus one input output. So this time it was one puzzle plus two input output. So usually students are getting three such group questions, either one input output and two puzzles or vice versa. Okay. Then there were three questions on syllogisms, two questions on Venn diagram. One was that logical Venn diagram. Logical means they will show that this square represents something, triangle represents something, circle represents something. And then another was set theory. Set theory, they will say that there are some people who like these items, these items, these items. Okay, some people like all three items, etc. Those kind of question. That was one of the questions was of this type. So this I encountered in the previous attempt also. There were 2 to 3 questions on Venn diagrams, logical plus set theory based Venn diagram, and 2 to 3 questions on syllogisms, easy to do. Okay, then you have one question on order ranking, which I encountered in the previous attempt also. Order ranking means there are some people in a row, one person is positioned from left and right. Okay, that I call order ranking. Okay, left and right positions are given, and you are asked how many people are sitting in the center in between these people, etc. Then there was one number based puzzle, like you have some matrix given and you are given like some numbers here, Okay, and they asked that what number will fit here. So it was easy one. Okay, then this was the analytical reasoning part, and this was critical reasoning. So this time I had 9 plus 2, 11 plus 17 critical reasoning. So critical reasoning, the balance is around like 15 to 20. Okay, so you might get 15 of one. It is almost equal. In some slots, critical reasoning might be more. In some slots, your logical reasoning, the what you call analytical reasoning might be more. So बैलेंस रहता है, थोड़ा बहुत दो चार क्वेश्चंस कम ज्यादा हो सकते हैं, किसी में 16-20 हो सकता है, 19-17 हो सकता है, ओके, सो 18-18 भी हो सकता है. सो ऑलमोस्ट इक्वल, बट यस, ऐसा भी नहीं होगा क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग बहुत कम हो जाए. So last time also I think I had some 16-17 questions on critical reasoning. The same this time as well. There were 4 questions on conclusions. So एक तो होता है कि passage based conclusion, और एक छोटा statement and then 3 conclusions, and ask that which of the conclusions is true. So one is passage based, as well as you have those 1, 2, 3 conclusions, and asked which of the following follows. Then course of action, it also includes that decision making things, right? What should this person do if you are an HR, this is happening, like you get in that, right? So that also I have included in course of action only, that is decision making. So you have to make a decision that something has happened, there is some client, you do not have the workforce to complete it. Okay, so what will you do? You are a manager and you are unable to manage your team. So all those business decision making, you would call that. Then 2 questions on assumptions, okay, and 2 questions on inference, 4 questions on argument. So it includes that which of the following will strengthen the argument, weaken the argument, and then the same thing, 1, 2, 3, which of the following arguments is strong, which is weak. That kind of questions were present. So 17 CR, 19 analytical reasoning in my paper, and at par with the previous examination. Kuch passage based honge lengthy, some questions will be short statement based. Okay, so both variations almost equal in number. Now talking about the quantitative skills, okay, this time there were two DI. Again, in the previous attempt also I had DI. Only minor differences which I will tell you here is, this was GSM and CDMA mobiles. It was calculation intensive. Okay, I found that it was challenging, but it you had to use approximation to answer the questions. There were no exact answers. All questions had approximate values. So this is the population. These percentage use GSM and CDMA mobiles. So within that they had different operators. So questions were calculation intensive. Second was expenditure and profit percentage. A table was given. Two companies, different years. They had given the expenditure and profit percentage, and they had given the formula for revenue, so you could find out what was the revenue, and questions based on the ratios or some values given to them. Okay, so this was a difficult one. If your calculations are good, you could do it fast, and this was an easy one. Now this time which I encountered was 7 data sufficiency questions. Previously it was 4. Okay, so there might be some variation. This was the first time I encountered so many data sufficiency questions in NMAT. Earlier, I used to see 4 in whatever attempts I have written. It is 4 or maybe 5 in some cases, but 7 for the very first time. So 7 questions on data sufficiency. They were related to numbers like divisibility पूछ लेंगे, या फिर they will ask you that prime numbers, etc., etc. They were also related to algebra, roots of equation, quadratic equation, etc., and arithmetic based. Mostly from these parts. So numbers से 2 से 3 क्वेश्चन थे, I remember. Arithmetic से simple interest, compound interest based 2 data sufficiency आए थे. So 7 questions on data sufficiency. If your concepts are clear regarding data sufficiency, I created a video also on data sufficiency. So if your concepts are clear, maybe you could ace these questions. Okay, arithmetic last time I had 12 and it dipped to 10. Okay, so slight variation. So data sufficiency बढ़ गए तो कुछ तो कम होना था. Algebra went down, and I think these were almost the same. Okay, so arithmetic 10 questions. Some questions in data sufficiency also, like I would say out of 7, 3 to 4 were arithmetic based. So 10 questions on arithmetic covering all the topics: percentage, ratio, simple interest, compound interest, partnership, mixtures, profit loss, time and work, average. Okay, surprisingly, no question on time, speed, distance. But I remember one question on data sufficiency was on time, speed, distance also. Okay, so it was not tested in core arithmetic, but it was tested in data sufficiency. So this was arithmetic. Arithmetic was usually lengthy. Okay, लॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस, ठीक है, प्रॉफिट लॉस है तो बहुत लंबी स्टोरी बना रखी है, ठीक है, टाइम एंड वर्क ऑल्टरनेट डेज में काम करने वाला, देयर आर थ्री पीपल दे डूइंग सो एंड सो एंड डेज, फर्स्ट डे वन पर्सन वर्क, सो दैट काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन. Okay, then simple interest, compound interest, one was approximation piece, so some difficult also, very difficult also, in fact mixture based also a few difficult questions. So arithmetic I found was lengthy. Same was the case in the first attempt as well. Arithmetic के questions कुछ lengthy थे. Then when we talk about algebra, there was one question on logarithm, two on quadratic equation, and one of the questions was incorrect रूट्स, लाइक एक ने सम गलत निकाल दिया, एक ने प्रोडक्ट गलत निकाल दिया, राइट. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन which I think we did in our class as well. Okay, so algebra I would say easy, log भी काफी easy आया था. And then modern maths, two questions on permutation combination, two questions on probability, one on set theory. Set theory, that Venn diagram thing. There are some people who like one subject, there are some people who like second subject, some like both subjects. Okay, then they had given that this is the number of students in the school and so percentage are girls, so find the number of girls, etc. That kind of question was presented. So I would say modern maths was easy to moderate. One question each in probability and permutation combination was slightly, I mean, you need better understanding of it. So those kind of questions were tested here. And there were three questions on numbers. One was units digit, one was HCF LCM. Okay, HCF was given, LCM was given, and they asked that how many pairs are possible. One was simplification, that BODMAS rule. Okay, so I did not know where to classify it. So BODMAS apply करके आपको solve करना था. That was one of the easiest questions. Units digit was good. It involved, units digit का question was like, in the power you had factorial in power. So it was a difficult question, and rest were doable. So I would say again easy to moderate level. So this was the QS section, almost at par with the previous attempt. Arithmetic वही lengthy था, बाकी में if your concepts are good, so it is about knowing these concepts. You cannot ignore algebra, modern maths, numbers for NMAT. कुछ लोग क्या करते हैं, वो arithmetic तो बहुत कर लेते हैं और arithmetic आ जाती है lengthy. Okay, so one must focus on these topics also. Logarithm, I have one playlist, let's learn log, बहुत सिंपल तरीके से समझाया है. Okay, so logarithm से एक question definitely आ रहा है. Last time I had 3 questions on logarithm, this time I had only one. Modern math also I have some videos, so do watch them. Okay, if your concepts are good, you will be able to tackle these questions. So these were the cutoffs for the last year. I believe that cutoffs you cannot predict. Okay, it goes on similar levels. Last to last year 235 थी, last year 232 थी NMMS मुंबई की. What I believe कि QS की score almost equal रहने वाला है. QS generally we have seen that LS की जो cutoff होती है, that is greater than LR, greater than QS. So that is the trend over the years. QS may be around 70. Okay, 69 last year गई थी, उससे पहले 71 थी, so around 70. And LR may be around 72, LS 75. All right, so minimum 75 you can expect in LS, because generally students score well in LS. So all in all I would say कि around 230 plus तो definitely जाएगी, तब भी dip नहीं होगी. So if your score is around 235, you can call it as a borderline score. Okay, 235 plus, then you have good chances of good chances of getting a call. And for conversion, maybe if you have 250 plus, then you have very good chances that you will convert also. So don't worry about all these factors, right? Once the results are out, then only we will get to know the correct picture. So it is just prediction, everyone predicts. or based on their own understanding. So do not worry about the cutoffs at this point in time. Focus on the for the upcoming examinations like CAT, SNAP, etc. लास्ट ईयर ऑल्सो पीपल वर थिंकिंग कि कट ऑफ लाइक 235 थी तो लोग परेशान थे किसी के 232 हुआ उनकी भी कट ऑफ क्लियर हो गई सो डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट because it is no point in predicting all those things, right? So stop wasting time on that. Instead focus on upcoming examinations. If you have scored good 240 plus score kiya, be happy, prepare for the upcoming process of this. And if you are preparing for NMAT and SNAP, we have a course in which you can still enroll, and we have slashed the prices as well. So it covers both these examinations in detail. We have these grammar rules which will be very helpful for these examinations. There's a dedicated doubt group for the enrolled students, and you get access to the mocks for NMAT and SNAP. And if you are looking for mock test for these examinations, we have mock test as well, which are as per the latest pattern of these examinations, and you will find similar level as the exam in our mocks. And I already told you about this grammar book, which will help you a lot. It is just for 100 rupees. And definitely, if you are targeting NMAT and if you go through these grammar rules, this will boost your score because a lot of rules, because we do not study grammar after school. And this book has all these rules compiled topic wise. Once you go through the rules, you remember them and they will definitely strike you while writing the examination. So please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow us on social media platforms. This video was about the analysis of NMAT which happened yesterday, and with this, I proved that NMAT scores do not scale down. So do not believe on all such random rumors. Okay, just trust this thing that whenever is your examination, try to give your best on the examination day. And once the scorecard is released, I shall upload it on the community so that you can verify key these were the scores in the first attempt versus the second attempt. So thanks for watching this video.